The nerves at an all-time high. No, we're not talking about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. That's this weekend at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Tonight, it's almost time to fire the engines here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Apex Energy 1987 Summer Throwback Series season finale. Welcome to the UD Awards Championship. Good evening, race fans from around the globe. Ryan O'Hara alongside Tony Hilbrandts for the final time in our summer series. Tony, last week, a mistake on pit strategy led to a surprise winner, but that miscue has closed the gap on this championship battle. Braxton Deweese appeared on his way to scoring another victory, but pitting too soon during a green flag cycle essentially handed the win to Johnny Rapp. And now those two drivers are separated by just 3 points coming into one of the most challenging racetracks on the circuit.
Yeah, this is a tight battle. As I bring up the points here, you can see that the top four are all within striking distance of each other, and tonight's going to be grueling out there to say the least, because again, it's these 87 cars. They don't like to handle the best. The tires like to wear, and especially at Old Atlanta here, they're going to burn up quickly. And getting some word from some of the drivers in practice, the tires are getting really hot as well, along with the wearing. So if we get some long green flag runs, you might see a tire blowout or two here tonight, and that'll definitely change the complexion of the race and maybe the points, depending on who blows their tire, if they do. And like I said, there's 4 people out there. They're all going to be looking out to see where each other are running, and it's going to come down to the wire here tonight. I'm guessing. So it's going to be a good, fun night tonight. What are you looking forward to, Ryan?
Well, Tony, I was going to ask you about the tire management, because you have to think about it. 1987 cars, no power steering, and this is the 2008 surface. So these 1987 NASCAR Winston Cup Series cars have never seen the 2008 surface. So the surface is a lot older. These cars are, well, I would say they were designed for the older surface back from the 1980s that was completely a completely different layout from what we have here. How will that factor into the equation?
Well, I don't think it's going to be too much of a deal, because this track's with this shape is not too different than Charlotte. It's a little more banked. It still has the banking of the old track, but yeah, the worn out surface. It's just going to be a very slip and slidey track out there tonight. I'm assuming, and I think people are going to probably try to take it a little easy tonight. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out like Darlington last week, where everyone kind of just settles in and we get some long green flag runs in. But again, they got a championship on the line, so that might not be the factor tonight.
And also, this is a relatively small field than what we've seen in previous weeks. How will that affect the outcome, given that it appears we only have 15 trucks that will be on the track tonight?
Yeah, there's only 15 cars that have shown up so far. The biggest thing with that is, especially with like Sobzak and Oliver, they're 10 points behind. They're going to need Deweese and Rapp to have some really bad nights, because less cars out there means there's less spots to fall and less points to gain. So Sobzak and Oliver are definitely going to have to be on their game tonight, and hope maybe 1 or 2 mistakes happen for Deweese and Rapp for them to have a good shot. But they do have a shot. That's the key. And it's the last race. Anything can happen. We've seen a lot of crazy things out there.
And Tony, let's think about the rules for a second, because in the Apex Energy 1987 Summer Throwback Series, if you cause a caution, if you're deemed to cause a caution by race control, you get sent to the end of the field, right? Well,
Yep.
let's say you're Scotty Sobzak or Sam Oliver, and you give Braxton Deweese a little bump and he spins out and wipes out. That's one less championship contender in your way. And the penalty with that you get sent to the rear of the field. Is that worth it, in your opinion? Maybe risk it, because you only get sent to the end of the field, but the silver lining is that you have one less championship contender to deal with. But maybe race control decides to add another penalty on top of that, just because of the championship implications. What is your thought process when it comes to that in particular?
Well, personally, as a driver, I wouldn't do that. just because, like, I wouldn't intentionally wreck someone like that. Um, Obviously, that penalty, I'm sure, would be a little bit modified for that tonight. Also, I don't think any of the 4 guys involved are going to even think about doing that. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that. But, racing hard and everything, something might happen and it might just be an accident, and we'll get that same situation. We'll see how everything plays out. But qualifying did get underway. We're going to quickly go to the national anthem, and we'll be back before qualifying is over, so we can take you through the running order.
And welcome back to the UD Awards Championship race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Is the championship a wrap? It's far from it, but Johnny Rapp is currently on the pole with a lap of 33.025 in second. And now here comes Chris Smith as he completes his lap 33.033. I was about to say Braxton DeWeese was second, but no longer. Chris Smith has now taken the outside position here in the front row. Braxton DeWeese is currently third, Scotty Sopsack in fourth, and James Suggs rounds out the top 5. We have roughly 1 minute and 30 seconds until the end of qualifying. Looking at the speeds right now, any surprises, Tony?
I'm honestly surprised that Oliver is as far down on the board as he is, because he's usually a top 5 qualifier. I'm sure he'll definitely move his way up through the field during the race, but he's got a lot of work to do. He's 10 points behind. He's one of the 2 that are the furthest behind that has a chance, and the top 2 are in the top 3 qualifying positions. So he's got a little bit extra hole there that he's got to dig out of right now at the start. But he's definitely good. He's won a couple times this season. He definitely knows how to get it done. So I'm sure he'll be up there before it's all said and done tonight.
Taking a look at his qualifying lap, it just looked like he was never comfortable. Got a little bit loose in turn 1 and was never really able to recover. But if you taking a look at his practice speed, he was at a 33.086, which is pretty strong. Wasn't the quickest, but it was definitely within the top 5. So unfortunate qualifying effort, but Sam Oliver, just like Johnny Rapp, he's one of those drivers that is a big picture racer, so I'm sure that he will be just fine. We have 5 seconds remaining in qualifying. 3, 2, 1, and 0. Qualifying is over, and Johnny Rapp will start from the pole as he looks to pick up his 2nd consecutive victory in the series, as well as his 2nd consecutive championship. Not in the Summer Throwback Series, but we're referring to the Truck Series, because a few months back, Johnny Rapp was our Truck Series champion, so he is looking to duplicate that effort.
And we will
now everyone is on the grid.
As soon as everything loads in, it was taking its time there for a second. But yes, as you were saying, Johnny Rapp will take home the Evan Pienta Designs Pole Award for the final race of the season. Your 2nd place in points, starting off good here tonight in first. Second will be Chris Smith in the 28. Third, your points leader coming into tonight is Braxton Deweese, followed by Scotty Sobczak, tied for third in points. Fourth will be James Suggs, followed by James Ledford, and fifth and sixth. My bad. Seventh will be Matt Scherf, Sam Oliver in eighth, your other points contender. Ninth will be Ellis Thomas, and 10th is Jeff Taylor tonight.
And now rounding out the rest of the field, Ben Keast will start from the 11th position. Patrick Colby, Al Corey, Eric Kalaga, and Paul Thomas all chose not to qualify for this event. And that rounds out our 15-truck field. And of course, Scott Tompkins is listed in the starting lineup, but he is actually our race control, and he will be watching every single move that takes place on this mile-and-a-half facility.
Yeah, and he's definitely gonna have a lot to look at tonight because cars are gonna be all over the place. I'm sure we'll have some side-by-side, if not three-wide action throughout the night. Everyone's just waiting for the last couple cars to grid, and then they will pull off, and we will get this race going.
I don't know if you're a prediction guy, Tony. I know that I'm not, a betting guy, but who do you think will win tonight?
Man, I don't know. Man. It could be any four of them, but if Johnny's showing anything here tonight, I think he might be the one to beat. Deweese definitely has the talent and drive to do so, as well as same with Sobczak and Oliver. But I think it's gonna come down between Rapp and Deweese.
Do you think that Deweese has the discipline to win the championship? We've seen him, fly through the field. We've seen him clobber the wall and somehow end up winning races. But now we're talking about a championship. This is the real deal. Do you believe that Braxton Deweese is ready for the moment?
Well, this is his first season with Slingshot here, so I'm not sure all of his experience, but sometimes you got to lose one before you could win one. But we'll see if that's the case here tonight. He's definitely going to give it his all. I know that. We both know that. Everyone watching knows that. And we'll just see if he just gives a little too much effort like he has a couple times this season and it bites him. But I know he's gonna keep everyone in his sights as the pace car is about to pull off, and we're about to go green here for the first time tonight.
15 trucks for 117 laps. The green flag is underway, and the UD Awards Championship race is on. And Braxton Deweese is already looking to make a move into turn one. He's going to give Johnny Rapp a bump going into the first turn, as the rest of the field looks to battle it out as they head down the back straightaway.
You can see cars starting to take up multiple lanes here as they try to make it through the corners nice and safe. As you can see, James Suggs sends it under Chris Smith for third. He washes up a little bit. Chris gives him room. But up front, Deweese is all over the rear of Johnny Rapp here as he looks to the outside, trying to go make the pass down the front stretch.
And Johnny Rapp led the first lap, so he gets the bonus points. But here comes Braxton Deweese on the high side, and he has the run, and he will clear him to take the lead. Braxton Deweese, who came into this race with a 3-point advantage over Johnny Rapp, is out front.
And not too far back, you saw Sobczak in 1 and 2 take the way outside line, and there he is trying to make a move for fourth place on James Suggs there. And Braxton Deweese does lead this lap, so he cancels out the bonus points that Rapp got the first lap. Sobczak is still out there on the high side. We'll see if he can get a big run like he did last lap. Oh, we saw somebody catch the wall back there, almost spin out. He kept it straight though. And Sobczak does have the run. He's going to move up to third. So there's 3 of your top 4 in points, 1, 2, and 3. And fifth is Oliver, your fourth points contender.
James Suggs is sideways in the middle of 3, and he saves it. Unbelievable save by the 20. What happened there is that he nearly made contact with the 59 of Sam Oliver. He had to check up, but when he did, he nearly spun that 20 around.
And now all 4 of your points contenders are in the top 4. You got 2 nose to tail for first and second, and third and fourth are high from the high line for 1 and 2 there.
And here comes Scotty Sobczak on the bottom of the racetrack in turn 3, side by side with Johnny Rapp for the second position, and it's going to be a neck-and-neck battle as they get to the line.
And this is something that Deweese is loving because it's going to let him pull away a little bit as the longer they stay side by side. Rapp got a little loose there at the exit of the quad oval. He had to catch it, and now that's going to let Sobczak pass him.
And here comes Sam Oliver into the fray as he moves into the 4th position. And as we mentioned just before we dropped the green flag, Oliver did have a rough qualifying run, but he's a big picture racer, and here he is exemplifying just that. Whoa, trouble! Matt Sheriff gets loose, and he saves it. Patrick Colby has to take evasive action and go around on the high side, and he nearly caught the outside wall. What a save by the 43. We have seen skills on this racetrack so far, Tony.
Yeah, indeed. Sobczak goes the high line again in 1 and 2 to get that big run. He's got that run down the backstretch. He's going to look to the inside of Deweese going into 3. We'll see if he can make that move stick as he does clear him. And he is holding onto the bottom. It looks like Sobczak is going to be your new leader and take this lap.
And Sobczak, who came into this race 10 points behind our championship leader, Braxton Deweese, desperately needed to get out front and lead a lap. He has done that. And he has 3 cars behind him, all on the bottom of the racetrack. But here comes Sam Oliver using the middle as he's going to try to get a run on Johnny Rapp, and he will take over the 3rd position as they head down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I think Rapp is like, you guys are really aggressive right now. I'm just going to let you go and fall in behind you. As Oliver is steadily moving up through the field after that 8th place qualifying effort. But up front, Sobczak continues to lead, and he's going to need to try to lead the most laps here to get those extra points.
And speaking of surprises, Ellis Thomas has moved up to the 6th position. Bossman is making moves. Whoa! Speaking of Thomas, he gets really loose. May have jinxed him there, but what a save by the number 8.
Yeah, good, again, another save out there. So as you can see, there's going to be a lot of action out here tonight, especially when the tires start to wear. And the hotter and slicker they get, the crazier the action's going to be out there.
The cliche in this sport is that these guys are the best of the best. Well, they are proving that so far. We actually mean it here in this series. These guys have been pouring their guts out for the last 6 weeks or so, and this is one of the most challenging racetracks on the circuit, on both mentally and physically.
Yeah, and they've got 117 laps here. So it's going to be it's a pretty decent length race. So they need to stay on it the whole time, especially if it goes green like it did last week. But because this track will definitely get to you the longer you're out there and the more you're trying to hang on to it.
And we have trouble. The 85 of Ben Keese is heading to pit road on lap 9. What's the problem here, Tony?
Looks like he's got some right side damage, so he may have caught the wall a couple times. But I'm not sure outside of that. But back up front, it looks like Sobczak is slightly pulling away as Oliver keeps looking for an opportunity to get by Deweese here. He's checked out a couple of Suggs through the grass. Let's see if he can hang on. He does hang on to it, but yeah, Suggs got loose there coming out of 4, put the grass in the quad oval, but keeps it straight. And as I was saying, Oliver has been looking for a way around Deweese for the last few laps. Deweese has been doing a great job holding him off, but Sobczak is starting to pull away because of this.
And going back to the 20 car, James Suggs, in the first few laps, he was really pushing it hard, and he may have burned his tires pretty early. The 85 of Ben Keese, he did clip the wall ever so slightly a few laps ago, but it looks like the 85 has decided to exit the race. So Ben Keese is done for the day. And Scotty Sobczak continues to lead this race. We're on lap 12, but here comes Braxton Deweese on the bottom side of the racetrack. Not able to make it stick, so that 15 will remain in the 2nd position. Johnny Rapp is back in 4th. Sam Oliver continues to run in 3rd. And it looks like the action is starting to settle a little bit out here, Tony.
Yeah, and Sobczak has that high line down in 1 and 2, which is allowing him to roll that momentum throughout the whole corner. And Deweese and Oliver and Rapp are taking the bottom line, and that's getting them the pull through the center. But on exit, Sobczak with that extra momentum can just extend that lead back out. So it's kind of, everyone's just kind of sitting pat here as they try to figure out what everyone's going to be doing and if anyone can make a mistake so that the rest of them can take advantage of it.
And James Suggs continues to struggle in that 20 car. He just got passed by Jeff Taylor. And, excuse me, not Jeff Taylor, but Al Corey. Jeff Taylor is currently side by side with him going into 1. So that would move James Suggs back to the 12th position.
Yeah, he's probably just trying to cool his stuff down after. Oh, we got a pass for second here. Sam Oliver looking to the outside, going into 3. Johnny Rapp trying to follow him. And he is going to follow him as Oliver gets the run off of 4. It looks like he's going to try to clear him going into 1 here. Deweese is fighting strong on the inside, though. And now you got 4 cars and 4 different lines through 1 and 2.
And bear in mind, all of these guys are battling for the championship. Everyone mathematically eligible to win it here today, but it depends what happens because you don't have necessarily a big field. So,
and the closer that Deweese and Rapp can stay to Sobczak and Oliver, the less likely Sobczak or Oliver are going to get the championship, unfortunately for them, because they got to make up a lot more points than what Rapp does. And Deweese pushes Oliver into the corner there. And he gets a little loose on exit underneath Oliver, but they keep it off each other as they go down the backstretch side by side, going into turn 3. Deweese is trying to make the pass back on the 59.
And I don't think Sam Oliver appreciated that too much. You saw going into turn 3, he did move down a little bit and pinch Braxton Deweese down, maybe sending him a sign like, hey, I wouldn't recommend doing that again.
Well, that and you got to make him earn the pass, too. Like, you can't just roll over it for anybody, especially when the championship's on the line. And here comes Rapp with a big run into the corner. We'll see if he can get it out on exit as well. But he's kind of stuck behind them as they're side by side, so he doesn't really have too much option here.
Meanwhile, Sobczak is probably saying in his car, man, get me away from these guys.
Or, well, true. Or he's like, I'm loving this because I'm just managing my tires and you guys are racing hard there side by side, so I'll eventually pull away if you guys keep that up. That's what I'd be thinking.
Patrick Colby is also on the move. He's passed James Ledford for the 7th position, and he is working on Ellis Thomas for 6th.
You saw that out the... Oh, Oliver gets loose on the exit.
Really down the back straight. Sorry about that. We both caught it at the same time there. But Oliver got really squirrely. But Deweese was unable to capitalize. But here's Johnny Rapp on the bottom looking to pounce on both of them.
Yeah, I'm sure Rapp's eyes got really wide there when he saw that happening. He was like, oh, this ain't going to be good. But they were able to keep it off each other. Oliver did a great job keeping it straight, and they didn't lose too much. They did not lose too much time on Sobczak, who continues to run that outside line in 1 and 2.
And this is the Slingshot Racing League, and Patrick Colby just pulled a slingshot move on bossman Ellis Thomas going into turn 1, and it looks like he's finally going to be able to make the pass here in turn 3. So now we have a new 6th place car, and that is Patrick Colby.
And back up in the top 4, they're still side by side for 2nd, and it looks like Oliver might clear him this time, and Rapp is pulling up alongside Deweese as well here.
And Oliver has moved to the middle of the turns, and it seems to have helped him, but he just brushed the wall right there. Doesn't look like it affected him. And Braxton Deweese has decided just to pull over for a bit, allow those 2 guys to get around, so move Deweese back to the 4th position.
Yeah, he was hung on the inside line there for about 10 laps, which is not very good for your tires. And I'm sure he was like, I've had enough of this. I'm just going to roll out of this and let my tires cool off here for a little bit, as Johnny Rapp now goes to the inside of Oliver for 2nd, trying to make the move.
Oliver thought about 3 wide and had to check up and thought better of it. And here's Rapp on the bottom of the racetrack challenging for second. And we'll see if he can make it stick. Meanwhile, Ellis Thomas might need some sugar in his energy drink because he is under... Oh! And he got really loose coming off 4. And, well, probably will need some sugar after that. Al Corey will get around, and James Ledford is also looking to make a pass on Ellis Thomas. And Thomas looks like he's struggling right now.
And we almost had 3 wide there for the lead as we went back to the front there. Yeah, we did catch the tail end of that Ellis and Corey issue. Corey did a great job keeping it off him, but Johnny Rapp was trying to make a pass on Oliver and Sobczak at the same time, and they almost all got together, which allowed Sobczak to squeeze back out in front here.
And Deweese was trying to give Sam Oliver a little bit of a bump draft down the front straightaway to give him a little assistance. Doesn't look like he was able to get the job done, but this battle is far from over. And here comes Deweese right on that back bumper of the 59 again. Gives the 59 a little bump and gets him ahead of Rapp ever so slightly. Now Deweese is back on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, Deweese is just like, what do you guys clear the other one so I could get back up there? And he's looking to maybe make it 3 wide if they don't figure this out too soon here.
And Rapp really threw it down there in turn 1. Let's see if he can make it stick off the corner.
And they are 3 wide this time. Oliver had to back out.
And Rapp got loose. He had to hold on to it.
Yeah. I'm sure Rapp got the call that they were still 3 wide, and he was coming out of the corner, and he was like, oh, I'm going to make sure we don't touch here. So that's probably part of why he got loose there. But, yeah, they were 3 wide and exit. They all came really close to touching again. This battle for the lead and this battle for the championship, they coincide. They're not letting it go. Every one of these guys wants... Oh, Sobczak almost gets to the wall. They are 3 wide now for second. But Sobczak able to hold off Oliver. Now he's got Deweese on his inside, and Rapp has moved back to the lead here on lap 25.
What a battle we've seen here, Tony.
And with all this going on, Chris Smith has came back into the picture. He's like, hey guys, you guys keep battling. I'm saving my tires. I'm going to come past you.
And if Chris Smith wasn't collected last week, we would probably consider him an even bigger threat for the championship, Tony. A really unfortunate chain reaction he was involved in. But here he is in the top 5 and looking to end the season on a high note in victory lane.
Yeah, I think he was either tied or just a couple points behind Deweese going into Bristol, and then he got caught up in a really early wreck, which ended his night. So that kind of ended his hopes at a championship, unfortunately. But yeah, he's definitely out here to show that he had what it took to win a championship. So he by winning the race here tonight. And Sobczak and Oliver are still hanging on each other's doors here, going through 1 and 2 for the battle for third.
And it nearly made Oliver nearly got into the left rear of Sobczak there down the back straightaway. Very, very close, but looks like Sobczak will hold on to the position for now. Oliver out of control coming off turn 4. Chris Smith all over the back bumper, that number 59.
And now he's going to look to the inside here.
So perhaps these guys up front maybe push their tires a little bit too hard. We're on lap 28 of 117, but Smith, he gets sideways in the middle. He has to gather it up. So that gives Oliver another opportunity to get away from that number 28, which he does.
And out front, it looks like Johnny Rapp has the biggest lead of the night so far. We are still early in the race, but he's got about 0.3 of a second lead over second place of Deweese, who has a gap over Sobczak. Sobczak looked like he drifted out of turn 4 there, and he's going to lose that spot back to Oliver here going into 1.
He certainly did. He had to hold on to that number 81 machine. And caution is out. We have a caution on the racetrack. We have a crash in turn 1. It's Al Corey. And
multiple cars.
Gets a big beat. Ellis Thomas spins into it as well, and he has contact.
Unfortunate here. But yeah, this
Uh,
as you could see, there was tires were starting to really wear there in the middle of the pack here. We got we're gonna watch the replay. Alcori is on the inside of Patrick Colby going into turn 1.
and Colby just drifts down and, well, takes him out and himself. And
Yeah,
Al Corey was on his roof.
I think Colby thought he was gonna clear him faster, and yeah, Ellis got on the brakes, and with the worn tires, it just spun out on him, and he just barely drifted into and nosed Al Corey there. Unfortunate for him. He's gonna have a little bit of damage, but looks like only 3 cars involved damage-wise. There was another spin, I believe, but yeah, unfortunate for those guys here tonight, as we are on lap 30 of 117. And with that, we will see who all comes down pit road. I'm sure everybody's going to want to come down pit road. They do have 3 sets of tires in the pits as usual, and here they all come. Nobody's going to stay out.
Unless they have a death wish, they will be coming down pit road for 4 tires and fuel.
Yeah, it looks like everybody is coming down pit road. And you can see the damaged cars.
About,
No, go ahead. Yeah, I was just saying you can see the damaged cars of Colby and Corey on pit road there, as the leaders pull in.
And of course, Johnny Rapp has that first pit stall because he was the pole sitter.
Yeah, so he's good. Yeah, he just has to cross that line. That's there's about 30 feet after that line that he's got to beat everybody off of pit road from, but he's definitely got the easiest job. Oh,
And Braxton DeWeese
had a great pit stop there.
They both entered at the same time. Do you think that Rapp was maybe making an adjustment to his car, or did DeWeese get into his stall better?
I think Rapp got into his box a little slower than what DeWeese did, but yeah, DeWeese wins the race off pit road. We're gonna go to commercial real quick, and we'll be side by side, and we'll be back for the green flag.
How do we get these one-of-a-kind amazing trophies? Well, we were fortunate to find UD Awards when we started our league. We reached out and we connected with Christopher, and we got started designing these one-of-a-kind works of art. The process was easy from start to finish. After just a few revisions, we finalized each one of them, and the team at UD got to work building each trophy from scratch. They're a small team, but they've got the ability to do just about anything your brain can imagine. And don't worry, if you're not an artist, they've got an entire catalog of unique trophies in pretty much any material you can imagine. Wood, acrylic, glass, and in the case of last season's trophy, metal. The best part, they're affordable. If you're looking for a trophy for your event or league, the choice is simple. UD Awards can give you exactly what you want. Are you looking for high-quality, affordable sim racing paint schemes and graphics? Then look no further than Evan at Evan Pienta Designs. Driven by speed, Evan Pienta Designs offers a multitude of sim racing graphics, from liveries to social media graphics to team and series logos. To see some of the work done by Evan, or even race one of the public liveries he's made, head on over to tradingpaints.com and search Evan Pienta.
And we are back. We'll see if they take the 1 to green here. It looks like the pace lights are off on the pace car, so we are on 1 to green. DeWeese looks like he's going to take the inside line. And since DeWeese is the leader, we got an announcement. The Apex Energy fan winner for the season, for the most active fan in chat, was Chris DeWeese. He will win a free tub of Apex Energy, and Ellis Thomas and or Chris Smith will reach out to you and get your contact information so you can get that sent to you. Congrats to Chris DeWeese for winning the Fan of the Season, sponsored by Apex Energy.
Big congratulations. And Tony, I have to ask, do you think that Chris DeWeese is cheering for Johnny Rapp? I think that Chris DeWeese is cheering for Johnny Rapp, or maybe Braxton DeWeese. I could be wrong.
I'm sure he wants somebody on the front row to win here, as
Oh, yeah. Somebody.
as we're about to go to green. I think he'd be excited for a good battle of the end at least. But I think he wants the 15 to win, as the 15 of Braxton DeWeese is your leader on the restart. Again, he chose the inside line, and we're coming to green on lap 34 here.
And we are back underway, and DeWeese, as he typically does, gets a big jump on the restart. And we are back underway. And Scotty Sobczak, but he is going to take third spot from Sam Oliver, as the rest of these guys look to make some moves. Ellis Thomas, he is making some moves on the high side of the racetrack. He just blew past Paul Thomas and Jeff Taylor. So Ellis is on.
All right, but Sobczak got a huge run down the backstretch, and he went to the rear bumper of DeWeese going into 3. Sobczak is definitely going to try to make this. He goes to the inside on the front stretch. We'll see how deep he sends it into 1 to make this pass.
And indeed he does. Sobczak to the lead. Sam Oliver to 3rd. Johnny Rapp back to 4th. And Chris Smith is about to send him back to 5th. But then again, we are very early in the run. This is the first time that these guys are on fresh tires, except the start of the race. And we will see if these drivers are focused on the short run or the long run. But right now, it looks like these guys are just trying to use up any bit of tire they can right now. With the exception of Rapp. He's just hanging back there, biding his time as he normally does.
Yeah, and that worked for him on the last run, as he was the leader. And had a pretty good lead when the caution came out. We'll see if he can repeat that success on this run. But Chris Smith is up there, as we've been talking about, so he's a new factor in this equation, as we are on lap 36 of 117. Oliver got a huge run. Go ahead.
And another note from the last caution, Patrick Colby was not issued an EOL. He remains on pit road. So maybe an EOL, which is an end-of-line penalty, was kind of insult to injury, considering he's just sitting on pit road right now. But as we go back to the front, Scotty Sobczak is holding about a 1/10 of a second lead over Sam Oliver.
Chris Smith has a big run through 1 and 2. He's on the inside of DeWeese here going into 3. He's looking to make that pass. And he looks like he will clear him coming out of 4 here. So that moves DeWeese back to 4th.
Meanwhile, James Suggs, he was a threat during the opening part of the race, used up his tires, fell back outside of the top 10. Now here he is in 7th, lurking behind the 48 of James Ledford. Perhaps Suggs, learned a bit or two from the opening run. Maybe save your tires a little bit. But so far, it looks like he is way through the field.
Well, the best thing for him is his car is still clean. He didn't hit the wall or anything on those first few escapades. But out front, Sobczak and Oliver are pulling away here. We'll see if that's going to hurt them later down the run, because are they pushing that hard, or are Chris, DeWeese, and Rapp saving their stuff? As there's about 3/4 of a second between second place and 3rd.
Well, let's take a look at lap times at the line. Here comes our leader, Scotty Sobczak. He crosses the start-finish line. And that lap, he had a 34.39. Sam Oliver at a 34.42. Chris Smith at a 34.39. And Braxton DeWeese at a 34.46. So, looks like it's not
everyone's
over
in the same
top.
ballpark. Yeah, they're all within. But Sobczak is definitely the fastest out there at the moment.
It also helps if you're in clean air.
That's
and
true.
That was nearly contact between Braxton DeWeese and Johnny Rapp as they battle for the 4th spot. Obviously, this is pretty significant because they are the top 2 in points.
Yeah, and as long as DeWeese is within sight of Sobczak and Oliver, he only has to worry about Rapp. He's just got to beat Rapp, and he should be able to come out with this championship. So I know as a driver, and as we've heard from him throughout the season, he definitely wants to win every race. But I'm sure he's out here looking at, I could get a championship. If the win comes in the race, then the win comes. But he's out there battling Rapp right now for the championship.
2 of the 3 victims from the first crash are making their way back onto the racetrack. Al Corey and Patrick Colby. Al Corey has scored 7 laps down. Patrick Colby has scored 11 laps down. The other victim for that crash, Ellis Thomas, well, he's not racing like a victim. He is currently running in the 8th position in the 8 car. So Ellis Thomas is, I would say he certainly dodged a bullet. Definitely could have hit a little bit harder, but he was able to mitigate the damage and is still in contention for potentially a win here today, Tony.
Yeah, it looks like he still has a little bit of right front headlight damage, but other than that, his car is looking pretty good. I don't know if he got all the damage fixed under that caution, but he's definitely got some speed still in the car, so I'm sure he's hoping for maybe another caution a little bit later in the race so he can fix the rest of that and make up some positions on pit road if possible. But yeah,
we may have cursed Al Corey because he made 1 lap and has since returned to pit road.
That's unfortunate for Al Corey. He looked like he was going to have a strong race there until that wreck. It looks like the top 2 are just barely pulling away from the rest of the field, but it's been about 5 laps or so. They've only gained like a little bit over a 10th. So everyone's getting within the same lap time again here, as Sobczak has moved to the bottom here in 3 and 4.
The tire fall off has been significant because they were running 34.39 just a few laps ago. Chris Smith just ran a 34.93, and that time he was running 35-second lap time. So the tires are starting to go away, and Atlanta Motor Speedway tends to separate the men from the boys. So we're going to find out who's the man. And Chris Smith had to hold on to his number 28 car coming off the corner. And here comes Johnny Rapp on the high side.
Yeah, DeWeese was making the pass on the outside there, and Smith trying to keep it off him on the exit of the corner got loose, and that left the door open for Rapp to do the same thing. So Rapp goes on by him. Rapp is doing what he needs to do, and he's looking to the inside of DeWeese now for 3rd going into turn 1.
We may have a battle for the lead because Sam Oliver has closed in on the number 81 of Scotty Sobczak from 3/10 down to 1/10 that last time around. And when we come back around, we will have completed 46 laps of the 117 lap distance here at the 1.5-mile Atlanta Motor Speedway. Let's go through the top 10 really quick. Scotty Sobczak, as he crosses the start-finish line, he is the leader. Sam Oliver in 2nd. Braxton DeWeese 3rd. Johnny Rapp 4th. Chris Smith 5th. And, well, let me change that. Chris Smith is 5th. James Suggs has moved back to 6th. And rounding up the top 10, we have James Ledford, Matt Sheriff, Ellis Thomas, and Jeff Taylor. And once again, as we move back to the front of the field, Sam Oliver is slowly but surely reeling in that number 81, and he's looking towards the high side, but where do you think, Tony, where do you think Sam's going to make the pass? Well, I think we just found out. He's going to the bottom.
Sobczak got loose on the exit there. I don't know if he got loose just because, or if the air from the nose of the 59, because he was right up on his bumper, got him loose. But either way, Sobczak got loose, and Oliver went to the inside, but Sobczak had a good run on the outside as he has been all night through 1 and 2. So this battle is going to last a lot longer than what Oliver was hoping. They both get loose that time out of 4. They almost make contact. They do a good job keeping it off. Oh, Sobczak's in the wall. That was a big hit going into 1. We'll see how bad that's going to affect Sobczak here.
And he has hit the wall a lot these last couple of weeks, but it doesn't seem to have affected his finish too much. But, Tony, this is Atlanta, old Atlanta for that matter, and we still have a long way to go. So we'll see if his right front tire gives him any trouble as we continue through this run.
And he hit that pretty solid, so it doesn't look like it did too much damage to him aerodynamically, which is a big key. But if that broke some suspension on the inside or weakened it, we're going to have to find out later through the run here. His body looks pretty good. But back here, DeWeese and Rapp are still giving it their all as well. for third.
And Ellis Thomas is struggling this run as Matt Sheriff just made a move around him. But here comes Thomas back on the inside, and that made Sheriff a little bit arrow loose, and they continued to battle. Thomas clipped the grass on the front straightaway there, somehow was able to keep it straight. And this is a battle for the 8th position as this battle continues to go through turn number 1. This is one of the more exciting battles here mid-pack. And they nearly make contact coming off too.
It looked like Thomas has a little bit more damage on that right front again. I don't know if he might have gotten into someone or if he brushed the wall again, but his right front fender's rolled under a little bit now too, so that's definitely hurting his handling as he gets loose out of 4 yet again there.
Al Corey is back onto the racetrack, so the first experiment was not so successful, so we'll see if the 45 can at least run up to minimum speed, but right now he has scored 16 laps down.
And up front, Deweese and Rapp have caught Sobczak for second. And it looks like Oliver has pulled away to a 0.6 of a second lead. So Sobczak is slowing down since that wall brush going into
And
one
here
a few
comes
laps
Deweese.
ago. Rapp
And
is
it
going to
looks
try to
like
follow
Rapp is
him.
going to try to follow him through.
And here comes Suggs moving back up to the front as well. He was able to manage his tires a little better on the restart, and it looks to be paying off as he's up here with the top 4.
And not to jinx anyone, but James Suggs actually, that last time around, was the fastest car on the racetrack.
Rapp is looking to the inside of Sobczak here down the front stretch. And he's going to try to clear him going into the corner. And Suggs is almost making it 3 wide. He pulls in behind Rapp there.
And once again, the 20 car was the fastest car on the track that last lap, but Tony, that might not be a good thing.
Well, it's late enough in the run where I don't think it's going to hurt his tires any more than what else is going to be going on. He's about to clear Sobczak for 5th. Rapp did make the pass coming out of 2 as we saw, but yeah, Suggs is going to clear Sobczak going into 1 here. So Sobczak has fallen off ever since he brushed the wall there, battling for the lead with Oliver, which Oliver is now out to 0.7 of a second lead over second place Braxton Deweese here. Oliver looks to be one of the smoothest lines out there at the moment as well, so I don't see him losing any of that ground.
And Chris Smith seems to have fallen like a rock. He's running 36-second laps. He might be the only driver in the top 10 who is doing that. Do you believe that Smith is dealing with some tire issues?
I think he's worn his tires out, and as you can see, he's in the high line in 1 and 2 now. I think he's searching. As you can see, the lap times of the top 10 here over the last lap. We'll keep this up here for a few laps so you can see how everybody's doing.
And of course, last week, Tony, Braxton Deweese made a critical mistake on the green flag pit stops. We're in the middle of a long run right now, but let's say there is a green flag pit stop coming up. What do you think Braxton Deweese worked on specifically to try and mitigate type of mistake from taking place again? In such a crucial race.
I think the thing that he's going to do different is he's going to make sure he knows when the 52 pits. I don't think he's going to pit until the 52 does, which right now the 20 gave the 52 a little bit of a bumper, it looked like, coming out of 2. He wanted him to move over, and Suggs made the pass, but he brushes the wall at the start-finish line. He's going to hang on to 3rd here as he goes into turn 1, though. Suggs is moving through the field and trying to get to the front. But yeah,
it didn't look like he got into the back of Rapp, but Rapp definitely was loose going into the corner.
Yeah, and we're back to Braxton. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's just waiting for the 52 to pit so he knows when he can pit. I don't think he's gonna go down 6 to 10 laps early like he did last week. But he is running down Sam Oliver, whether or not Oliver is falling off or he's just backing up, because he had a pretty good lead for a good chunk of time. He ran just under a tenth slower than Deweese that last lap.
And Sobczak continues to struggle. Right now he is battling James Ledford. Ledford would take the 5th position away should he make the pass. If Sobczak continues to struggle, especially after he pancaked the wall, and we expect Sobczak to pit early just to try to get, some sort of mythical advantage over the field and try to hope for a caution.
Well, if it goes green the rest of the way, they're going to have to pit around lap 100. So I can see if he believes it's going to go green the rest of the way, if he tries to split it at like lap 80 or so. But we'll see how it goes, how everything goes the rest of the race here. And I'm sure other people out there are going to think the same thing, where maybe I'm going to pit a little earlier so I can have more laps on newer tires and run them down, as Deweese has caught Oliver, speaking of running down, and he's going to go to the inside into turn 1 here. Oliver's going to take the very outside line. We'll see if he can get the run off the corner to stay ahead of Deweese. Deweese does not clear him, but yet Oliver does have the run, and he will pull back ahead of Deweese as we go down into turn 3 here.
And Oliver had an 0.8 of a second lead just a few laps ago, but that has...
Oh, he got loose out of 4. That might be one reason why Oliver got loose out of 4 there. If he's been struggling with that last few laps and we weren't able to see because we were focusing on other drivers, that might be why Deweese has ran him down so fast. As Deweese is on the inside, hugging that bottom line there through 1 and 2, and he just clears Oliver exiting 2 there.
And James Ledford and Sobczak continue to battle for that luxurious 5th position. However, they have been battling side by side for quite some time, and that has invited Chris Smith back into the battle as he's looking to the inside of Ledford. So it's getting hot up here for Smith. He stood up the racetrack, nearly got the outside wall. And he'll have to back off a little bit.
Back up front, though, Oliver's not letting Deweese get away. Oliver knows that he has to lead the most laps and get the win to have the best shot of taking this championship away from Deweese tonight. So he wants to get back by Deweese as quickly as possible. And he is running a different line. He is running that higher line to try to keep as much momentum as he can. Deweese just looks to have the better tires at the moment, though. So Braxton is starting to pull away a little bit there, coming out of 4. And yeah, we are about halfway through a fuel run. You can go 65 to maybe 70 laps, and we're on lap 34 of their stint currently.
And Ledford has finally gotten around Scotty Sobczak for the 5th position, but here's Smith. He's looking to the inside.
Oh, Ledford gets loose. Ledford's still loose. He's trying to catch it. He hangs on to it.
All of these guys, cars are driving terrible right now. Sobczak, he saw that Smith was starting to lose it underneath him, and he moved up and nearly lost it himself. Simultaneously, as Ledford was losing control of his car as well, and here comes Sobczak and Smith, and it's a topsy-turvy battle back here for the 5th position.
Yeah, Sobczak did get back around him, but now you see Sobczak drifting in the middle of at the exit of the 4 there. That gives Smith a big run. He might try to make it 3 wide. He thinks better of it and stays behind Sobczak, as Ledford is still on his inside. This is the closest battle we got on the track right now, and it does involve one of the championship contenders with Scott Sobczak, who is trying to hang on for everything he can here.
And Smith really threw it down in turns 3 and 4, and he has a run, and he's going to clear Scotty Sobczak.
Yeah, and with how big of a run he got and how low Sobczak was in 3 and 4 there, I thought Sobczak was going to come down pit road there for a second. That's why I keyed up there, my bad. But no, Smith just had a huge run compared to Sobzak, and he cleared him, and now he looks to pull away from Sobzak and Ledford here as they are battling for now 6th place.
And now Ledford has blown past the 81. Is the 81 pitting? Not yet. You know, his car has been so out of control the last few laps. I was thinking, just like you, I thought he was coming to pit road.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to hang on for at least another 10 laps, get within 40 laps to go. They still have 2 sets of tires in the pits, everybody does. So, yeah, like I said, Sobzak is probably going to try to split this run in half, especially because it has been staying green. Up front, though, Deweese has pulled away from Oliver a bit as he has a 0.7 of a second lead over Oliver. About 1.8 seconds back is Johnny Rapp, who is second in points coming into tonight, and he needs to do what he can to go up there and beat Deweese as well. And Suggs, James Suggs, is still right there with Johnny Rapp. Suggs is having, I believe, his best run of the season so far. Especially if he can finish 4th, I think that will be his best finish.
And he very clearly has learned from the mistakes he made in the opening run, where he was just blowing through the field in the first couple of laps, and next thing you know, his car was screaming for tires.
Yeah, he's definitely been a lot smoother. He didn't push as hard on the restart this time, and he's definitely showing the fruits of that here. As he is all over Johnny's rear bumper, which I'm sure Johnny's like, come on, man, just leave me alone. Oh, Chris Smith, because you can see at the exit at 2, you got silence. Ellis Thomas.
Ellis Thomas and Matt Sheriff hard into the outside wall. The caution is out for the 2nd time. You know, I was just turning on that battle, and it looks like Ellis Thomas, he moved up. Matt Sheriff was loose. He came down, and they just ran out of real estate.
Yeah,
you couldn't blame anyone there.
It was just a racing deal. They both came into the same line together. Unfortunate for Thomas, that's the 2nd wreck he was involved in, and this time he got some heavy damage that we'll try to get on board with. And yeah, there's some right front damage to Matt Sheriff as well. We will ride on board with Matt Sheriff here as we go through the replay one more time. Yeah, they're coming out of turn 2.
To add insult to injury, there was also netcode that was a factor in this. But one fact that remains solid is that they were both battling for the same piece of real estate, and you know, netcode or not, it's just an unfortunate accident.
Yeah, it was just a racing deal. Unfortunate for both involved. As everyone is coming down pit road for the 2nd time here tonight, we will see the battle off pit road.
First time, Braxton Deweese was able to school everyone coming out of pit road, and Scotty Sobzak is inside of Braxton Deweese's pit. That's not going to work. So Scotty Sobzak, with a big mistake, overshoots his box, and this could cost him significantly.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a slow stop for him. As we are checking out Deweese's pits out, Braxton Deweese is the driver of the race, so we will quickly bring up the driver of the race for you tonight.
What's going on, everybody? Braxton Deweese, driver number 15.
And Sam Oliver wins the race off pit road.
I'm here with my big old
Braxton
BDR
Deweese.
hat. I'm going to answer these 5 questions, get to know the drivers a little bit more. The first question is, what's your job outside of sim racing? I'm an interior and exterior house painter. Chocolate or vanilla? I'd say vanilla. First real life race you remember watching? It was 2009 Brickyard 400. That's the first race I ever attended as well. The best condiments to put on a hot dog? I'll just go with ketchup and mustard. Favorite racetrack to race at? I can't really pick a favorite. I like so many. But a couple that I like would be Darlington and Bristol for like the NASCAR side of things. But I really do like Langley and Hickory for the late model side of things. I've been doing that a lot more, so that's something I really do enjoy and have given a lot more appreciation for. So there's a couple tracks I like, and hopefully here tonight at Atlanta we're having a good race, and hopefully we can come home with a trophy. Come on.
And welcome back to the UD Awards Championship race. 2nd caution of the day. Ellis Thomas and Matt Sheriff into the outside wall after an unfortunate accident. Ellis Thomas was issued an end-of-line penalty in EOL, as he was deemed the cause of the accident. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I know it was a racing accident. Both guys kind of came together. They're both fighting for the same piece of real estate. But I clearly saw netcode kind of, push them over the edge, so to speak. But, oh well, race control is going to do their thing. But going back to the front, if you guys saw the race off at pit road, Braxton Deweese did not win the race off pit road. Sam Oliver did, but Deweese did come out second. James Suggs came out fourth. Johnny Rapp fifth. James Ledford sixth. Chris Smith in seventh. Jeff Taylor in eighth. But the big shock, Scotty Sopsack overshot his pit box, and he went back to ninth. A huge mistake, Tony.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him, and now I'm sure he's going to have to push even harder, which is not what he wants to do because he's been struggling with mid to late run speed. I wonder how much damage he had. It does look like there's a little bit of damage in front of that right rear wheel well. We'll see if he got that fixed well enough to keep up the speed that he had early on in the race. But we are 1 lap to go as the lights are off on the pace car. And it looks like Sam Oliver, your race leader, is going to choose the inside line here.
And a couple more things happened during the break. Matt Sheriff stayed out to lead a lap, and Al Corey just took the wave around. So that's a bonus point for Matt Sheriff in the 43, but now he will line up 11th on the restart. And James Ledford just gave James Suggs a shot down the back straightaway. Not sure what that was about. Maybe Ledford was checking out his phone, or maybe he's just having some fun. But that seemed a little bit harder than a bump. But we'll see if that affects how they race each other here on the restart.
It might have been just a little bit of a love tap, but everyone's tightening up here as they come through 3 and 4. Pace car is about to pull off.
Well, not everyone is tightening up. The outside lane they're pretty separate here, Tony. So some guys are laying back significantly. Look at Scotty Soft. He's laying back a lot as the green flag is back underway. Sam Oliver gets the jump as James Suggs and Braxton Deweese battle for second.
And we are on lap 75 of 117. We got just over 30 laps to go. And Oliver gets a huge jump. He's got about a 0.3 of a second lead as he comes out of turn 2. Braxton Deweese
doesn't seem like the outside line laying back certainly didn't help the outside line much.
Not on this restart at least. But we'll have to see if Oliver's able to keep his rear tires on him this run a little bit longer at least. As that was the biggest factor in him losing the lead that last time, as he was starting to get really slidey out of turn 4 about 30 laps into the run, which is about when this race is going to end. So if Deweese can stay within shooting distance of him, he might be able to take this win away after all.
And here comes James Suggs challenging Braxton Deweese on the high side. This is for second spot, and he is gonna nearly hit the wall, but he was able to hold on to it, and he take that second spot. But Deweese is fighting back. Deweese did back out of the corner a little bit earlier, perhaps to try to get a run off the corner, but Suggs is going to maintain that position.
As you can see, Johnny Rapp is 5th on track, but there's a big gap between 4th and 5th there. So Johnny's gonna need to really reel these guys back in if he wants to get up there and take the championship away from Deweese. But up front, Oliver is still running smooth here. He's running 34-second lap times.
But James Suggs is running 33-second laps, Tony, 33.9 to be exact. He was the fastest car on the racetrack that time around, but it looks like as they head down the back straightaway, it looks like Oliver gapped him. So it looks like maybe Suggs didn't get a good run going into turn 1 and 2.
Well, Suggs is running a lower line in 1 and 2, so he's not able to keep the momentum off exit as much as what Oliver has been. As you can see, he's still running up really high there in 1 and 2. We'll see if Suggs moves up.
And that time, their lap times were nearly identical.
It looks like Suggs is still trying to run that bottom in 1 and 2, so we'll probably see Oliver pull back. Yep, he gained about ½ back exiting turn 2 there. But it looks like It looked like James Ledford was going to try to make a move on Deweese there for third. Ledford is having a really good run tonight as well. I believe this will be his best finish too if he finishes fourth here tonight. But he's trying to get that third place away from your points leader, Braxton Deweese.
But I also want to give a tip of the cap to Jeff Taylor. He typically, runs mid-pack, but he's running right behind Scotty Sobczak here inside the top 10 as we're about to complete the 80th lap of this 117-lap race. And it's our season finale, the UD Awards Championship here at Atlanta.
Yeah, you can see the top 4 are basically in a group, and then the second 4 in a group led by your second place in points, Johnny Rapp, who is really trying to get back up there, as I said, but these guys are starting to lose ground to the top 4. So we'll see if these guys up front are pushing that much harder, and they're going to come back to them later in the run if it stays green. I'm sure that's what Johnny Rapp is hoping. But yeah, it's all Sam Oliver out there who is... Let's take a quick look at his driver info and see he has 21 laps led here tonight. Let's check out Braxton Deweese, who has 19. So Sam Oliver does have the most laps led. Nope, sorry, Scotty Sobczak has 32. Scotty Sobczak has 32 laps led. So Scotty Sobczak will get the points for leading the most laps unless Sam Oliver can lead the rest of the race here.
And a 5,000 I rating for Scotty Sobczak. Quite the I rating. A lot of guys don't have that.
Yeah, it definitely shows that he runs up front in officials just as much as he does here in the Slingshot Racing League.
And once again, let's take a look at lap times as we complete the 82nd lap. Sam Oliver runs a 34.83, and James Suggs at 34.69. So that's a significant edge there for James Suggs. And Johnny Rapp also ran a 34.69 as well. So perhaps Johnny Rapp is thinking the long run. We'll see what Rapp has in store.
And Rapp looks like he's starting to close that gap a little bit in on Deweese at least. Sam Oliver is still about 2 seconds ahead of Johnny Rapp, but you can see that Deweese and Ledford are coming backwards as opposed to going forward here. Whether that's by design and they're just taking it a little easier, or if their stuff is falling off already, because we are late in the race. There's a lot more rubber down on the track, and the track's a lot hotter than what it was when we started.
The problem for Rapp is that Chris Smith is also breathing down his neck. Rapp is running very impressive lap times, but so is Chris Smith, and they are battling for the 5th position. They are roughly 2 seconds behind our leader, Sam Oliver.
Yeah, Chris is not giving Johnny any time to just relax here, it looks like, as he is right on him all the way around the track here.
And much of these top guys are running identical lap times. At what point, Tony, if this race continues to go green, when should these guys hit the afterburner and start to get aggressive?
Well, if they're not doing it already, I would say in the next 10 to 15 laps, you might want to start pushing, because you don't want to lose too much ground before you start doing it, and you want to make sure you can use as much of your tire as possible, and the later you wait, the more tire that's going to be gone. As the leaders are coming up on the lap car here, Alcor, the 45 stick, tries to stay as high as possible, but that's going to be in the way of your leader on the exit of corner. Oliver has to move to the inside, which slows him down a bit, and James Suggs is now only 1.5 tenths behind your leader.
Well, Suggs had already gained a significant amount on Oliver prior to getting to the lap car, but yes, that certainly didn't help, and Suggs gets a good run off the corner, nearly gets the wall. He's been living in the danger zone for much of this race. But it looks like Oliver got a better entry there into one. Suggs looks like he's getting a better run off the corner. So it's just back and forth, the back and forth heavyweight championship battle. Suggs, unfortunately, it doesn't appear that he's mathematically eligible to win the championship at this point, but at least he's trying to end the season on a high note.
But both of them lost a bit of time on 3rd and 4th place. As you can see, Deweese and Ledford have closed the gap on both of them there once they got by the lap traffic.
But how about that 48 of James Ledford running inside the top 5? The last few weeks for Ledford have been, I would say, pretty impressive.
He's definitely been a lot more comfortable, it looks like, the last few weeks, and has improved quite a bit over the beginning of the season. I think he was unfortunately caught up in something last week that hurt his finishing results, but he definitely had a strong race last week, and he's especially got a strong race going tonight as he is in 4th place with just under 20 laps to go, or just under 30 laps to go.
Late race pit stops too.
No, they can all make it to the end on fuel, so I don't see any reason why anyone's going to pit unless there's a caution. And they only have one more set of tires in the pit, so if they pit for tires under green and then a caution comes out, they're going to be SOL.
And everyone knows what that means.
And Johnny Rapp has, like I said, when the lap traffic got involved, not that it was a problem, but it did slow the leader down a little bit. Johnny Rapp's only 1.5 seconds back now from the leader, so he's closed half a second on the leader in the last handful of laps as well.
And let's check out the lap times as Suggs had a great run off turn number 4 to get close to Sam Oliver at 35.38. Sam Oliver actually was faster that time, but just by a hair at 35.35.
Yeah, and that was the fastest. Nope, Chris Smith ran at 35.34 that lap, so Chris Smith was your fastest. Nope, sorry. Jeff Taylor at the 11 ran at 35.28. So guys towards the back might be starting to pick up their times as they want to try to catch these guys before it's too late.
And that number 11 Mountain Dew machine has impressed me throughout this race. He's been kind of mid-pack for most of the season, but this is by far his best run, and considering that he's just had one of the fastest laps of at this point of the race.
Speaking of good runs, though, Braxton DeWeese got to the inside of James Suggs in 1 and 2 and held it down the backstretch as he goes into 3, trying to make the pass here for 2nd place.
And Braxton DeWeese is the championship leader, and James Suggs does not care as they nearly make contact down the front straightaway. And Suggs basically telling our championship leader, you're going to have to drive through me if you want to take this 2nd position. I want to win this thing.
Yeah, Suggs is out here to win a race. DeWeese is out here to win a championship. So I think Suggs knows that DeWeese isn't going to push too hard because I think the championship's a little more important to him and the race is more important to Suggs. But they are still battling here. DeWeese doesn't want to just give up either. He's just playing a little smarter as he falls back in line behind Suggs as the top 3 are nose to tail. James Ledford has fallen off from this group, but Chris Smith is looking to the inside of Johnny Rapp there, and he does make the pass in 1. And Johnny Rapp and Scotty Sobczak are following Chris Smith as they come up on the 48 of James Ledford for 4th.
And DeWeese looking to the inside again of the 20 car. I think this time he's going to clear him.
I don't know about clearing him unless, nope. Yeah, he does clear him. He just clears him exiting 4 there. The good pass by DeWeese.
Doug had to lift, otherwise he was going to clobber the outside wall.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
James Ledford just hit the fence going into 1, but he keeps it straight. That's going to allow Johnny Rapp to get around, and here comes Scotty Sobczak looking to make a move as well as they go down the back straightaway. As the laps tick away on this championship finale here at Atlanta.
I am going to put the commentator's curse on James Ledford under your fault, not mine. But Braxton DeWeese is looking to the inside of Sam Oliver, exiting 4. Oliver does stay ahead of him, though, as we are on lap 96 of 117.
So we don't have playoffs here in the Slingshot Racing League. So Braxton DeWeese trying to pull a Jeff Gordon in 1998 to win the season finale and the championship at the same time. And here comes DeWeese. And he may have it coming off turn number 4. Oliver's not giving up on the outside. Is Oliver going to give him room? He will, and DeWeese takes the lead.
I think Oliver got even closer than Suggs to brushing that wall, so he was like, yeah, here you go. But Oliver does continue to run that middle groove in 1 and 2. We'll see if he can get the momentum off exit to get back to DeWeese. Doesn't look like it, though. DeWeese had a really nice line through 1 and 2, and he's starting to pull away a little bit here. As Suggs sends it, or Oliver sends it in deeper into 3, though. Close that gap back up a bit.
But unless there's a caution, Braxton DeWeese is going to win this championship.
You know, the last time
At least so it seems.
You know, the last 2 times we were talking about if a caution would happen. One happened not too long after. I don't think DeWeese wants that to happen. So he's out here going, hey, just stay green, guys. Just stay green. And it looks like most of the field is single file, so I don't see that being an issue anytime soon. But James Suggs here, the inside of Sam Oliver for second.
And there was nearly a caution just a few moments ago. Paul Thomas completely overdrove the first corner and nearly got into the back of Eric Kalaga. And it seems like maybe Thomas is on fresh tires, because he seems to be really cooking going into the corners, as you see right here. He is really just throwing down the gauntlet, trying to get around Kalaga.
He's on the same laps as Kalaga. I think he's just running in a little deeper than what Kalaga is. They've both been they both pit under that last caution and are on the same set of tires. Suggs gets a little loose as he tries to go to the inside of Oliver for second into turn 1. Suggs is able to hang on to it, and it looks like he might clear him here on the exit of 2. No, not quite. He gets
Suggs
really
gets
loose.
loose. And that will allow Oliver to take second position back.
But while they're
Alice
battling,
Thomas gets really loose. What a save by the number 8. And he has had an eventful day, multiple incidents, and nearly another one coming off turn 2.
and I was going to say, while Oliver and Suggs are battling, DeWeese continues to pull away here with only 17 laps to go here. It looks like he brushed the wall a little bit there, exiting the quad oval, going into 1. We'll see if that has any effect on him. There are also lappers coming up. The 9 of Patrick Colby and the 45 of Al Corey are not too far ahead of the leaders here.
He did brush the wall, but it wasn't very hard. I don't think that will affect him too much in the long haul, as we will complete the 101st lap here at the line. And we have 16 laps to go here in the 1987 Apex Energy Summer Throwback Series.
Sam Oliver's going really high now through 1 and 2. He almost got the wall there in the middle of the corner.
And as you see in the sky, the sun is starting to set, or at least we're having some form of cloud coverage. Not a meteorologist here, Tony, but what could this do to the racing now that it's starting to get a little bit cooler out there?
Well, I think it's going to take a handful of laps.
Oh,
before it gets cooler.
Patrick Colby had a moment coming off turn number 4 as Sam Oliver and James Suggs, it looks like, ran up on him, and Oliver had to yank his wheel to the left just to get around him. Sorry about that, Tony.
It's all good. But like I was saying, it's probably not going to cool off that much until about 5, 6, 7 laps to go. Let's get the clouds stay covering. But what it's going to do is it's going to really make the front end not turn as much, and they're on worn tires already, and they've had issues with the front. Oh, as you see, Suggs gets into the wall there going into turn 1. But yeah, it's just going to make it harder for them to steer, which we'll see who can adapt to that the best. As you can also see, Chris Smith has caught these guys. So is Johnny Rapp to an extent, but Chris is looking to make up a few more spots here and finish in that top 3.
And both Suggs and DeWeese hit the wall at nearly or pretty much the same spot. We'll see if that affects them as this race winds to a close.
Yeah, they've got 13 laps to go here. As Chris Smith dives to the inside of Sam Oliver into turn 1. He wants that 3rd spot. Oliver gets the run on exit though with that higher line. And as you can see, Rapp is just lurking back there to try to pick up as many spots as he can. Unfortunately, if DeWeese finishes where he does, it doesn't matter where Rapp finishes. But Rapp is also trying to finish 2nd in points as well if he doesn't win. And Oliver has a chance of surpassing him depending on how the points shake out here, because Oliver has like quite a few laps. I don't know if he ended up passing the lap count for most laps led. We will check that out later or at the end of the race.
And lap traffic could be an issue here in the closing laps. Al Corey just hit pit road, and when he comes back out, it's unknown where exactly he's going to come out. But depending where he comes back out on the racetrack, it could affect the lead.
They don't have much time left, so anything that happens can be really big, or you never know. We still have a chance for a caution to come out, so that could throw everything into chaos. But,
all the DeWeese fans are just looking at you, Tony, and saying, "Don't you dare bring up cautions."
Well, the good thing is Braxton continues to pull away. He is at 1.87 seconds ahead of 2nd place now with 10 laps to go. And it looks like Smith is still trying to get past Oliver there for 3rd. And
Ellis Thomas is coming to pit road here with 11 laps to go.
yeah, this battle for 3rd is not dying down, and Johnny Rapp is closing in ever so closely as they continue.
And this may give Carl Edwards fans some nausea, but we don't.
Sorry, Smith got loose there in the exit of the quad oval and almost had to drift through the corner.
Oh, and Braxton DeWeese had a moment coming off turn 2. What a save by the 15. And I was saying, we don't have a fake debris button, so Carl Edwards fans may get a little nausea from that, but Braxton DeWeese is on rails as he increases his lead to just over 2 seconds over James Suggs. And we have 8 laps to go.
And Smith wants that 3rd place. He's all over Oliver, and Rapp is like, "Come on, you can do it. I'm gonna follow you."
Or Rapp is saying, "Please spin out so I can have a chance to win this championship."
That's possible as well. But yeah, this is really the only battle on track as your leader continues to pull away. He's at 2.25 seconds ahead with 7 laps to go. Three wide here for 3rd as they come out of 2. Oliver does hold on to the position.
And Jeff Taylor just bounced off the wall down the back straightaway. He keeps it straight. And Chris Smith he gets loose.
And he's been
trying so hard to pass Sam Oliver, but that's going to allow Johnny Rapp a shot at passing him. But Rapp got loose himself on the front track.
He tried to make a move on the middle of that dog leg where it's completely flat and there's no grip at all, especially later in the run on worn out tires. You can spin out there easily by yourself if you're not paying attention. He did a good job keeping it straight though as he hangs on to 5th here. We're coming to 5 laps to go. Your leader, your points leader, and your champion, if this stays pat, Braxton DeWeese, has a 2.5 second lead over 2nd place.
And Al Corey has dropped from the server. He's done for the day. As Patrick Colby appeared to be slowed down the front stretch.
Chris Smith
And
does
here
make the
comes
pass on Sam Oliver for second. Oliver gives him the bump down the backstretch. Johnny Rapp follows him, and he's trying to make the pass on Smith now. Yeah, the closing laps. These guys are tired after a long race. Their tires are tired as well, as they're doing everything they can to hang on. And you can see Rapp there gets a little drifty through the middle of two there. Able to keep it going though. He's just going to go to the inside. No, he's not going to get to the inside of Smith here as they go into three. Oliver comes back on the outside. Wants to take
3 laps to go. And Braxton Deweese, his season started in the inside wall at Daytona International Speedway after a miscue entering pit road. But since then, Deweese has been a force to be reckoned with. As he rolls off turn number 4, 2 laps to go here at Atlanta, and 2 laps away from a championship for Braxton Deweese.
And it looks like he has the most laps led at the moment, so he's going to get even more bonus points so that he can assert the championship and make it a non-negotiable once it's over. He's got 3 seconds to second place as he goes into turn 3 with 2 laps to go. As soon as he crosses the line, the next flag will end the race and end the season for the Slingshot Racing League Summer Series.
And Braxton Deweese looking to complete the trifecta. He's the sport's most popular driver. He has led the most laps today. But when he comes back around, he will be the Apex Energy 1987 Summer Throwback Series champion. As he comes down the back straightaway for the final time. And coming through turns 3 and 4. Braxton Deweese started the season off in the inside wall, but he's going to end it as the champion. Braxton Deweese rolls off turn number 4, and he has completed the trifecta. Braxton Deweese is your Apex Energy Summer Throwback Series champion. James Suggs second, Chris Smith third, Sam Oliver fourth, Johnny Rapp comes home fifth, James Ledford sixth, Scotty Sobczak seventh, Jeff Taylor with a season best eighth, Matt Sheriff ninth, and Paul Thomas will round out your top 10.
Yeah,
and
great run by Braxton tonight. He definitely earned it. He definitely showed that he deserved it. And he's your winner and your champion. We will get interviews with your top 3 finishers and your champion here momentarily. While we're getting that set up, what are your thoughts on the race here in the season, or just on the race here tonight? We'll talk about the season a little bit later.
Great season. Honestly, it was very exciting, and I'm not sure when our next series is, but I'll be ready for it.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun. Tonight was a hell of a race. Only 2 cautions, I believe, right? So these guys definitely put out their best effort. As you can see, Braxton Deweese doing his burnouts here for the win of the race and the championship. And while he continues to do that, we will talk to your 3rd place finisher here. Chris Smith, 3rd place finisher here tonight. You got a copy?
I got a copy. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Great, man. Welcome back to the booth, and a great 3rd place run, and definitely a great recovery from what happened at Bristol. You had a great run there. Unfortunately, you got taken out. How good does it feel to be back in the Apex Energy Media Center?
It feels great, and what a great, rewarding 3rd place this is tonight. It's a tough car track combination. We were sliding around quite a bit out there, and yeah, I had a lot of fun.
And what was the biggest challenge here today? There were only a few cautions, so you guys didn't have a lot of opportunities to put. Obviously, you guys still had two sets of tires on pit road, so you guys had to make all of your rubber work for you. What was the biggest challenge today?
Biggest challenge was just looking after the right rear. If you got the right rear wearing out faster than the right front, you're going to have a hard time. And that's what happened to me on that second run. I kind of just I punished the tires a little too hard at the very beginning, and I was just sliding. And once you start sliding, it's really really hard to get it under control and to cool off the right rear. And um, on that last run right there, I decided I'm gonna stay right behind Johnny here. Those front four pulled away from us, but we started catching them there at the end, and I was just pacing myself off of him because he's really good at that sort of thing. And um, it all worked out, and we did a lot better job of looking after the right rear on that final run.
And Chris, as this season comes to a close, what can we expect with the Slingshot Racing League coming up next?
Well, this fall, we're going to run the Xfinity cars in the Apex Energy Grand National series, and we're really looking forward to it. Xfinity cars are a blast to drive. They're one of the more popular cars on the service, and people have been asking for it since we started Slingshot for us to run those cars, and I'm really excited for it. We've already got a field of 30 plus drivers, so not many more slots left for the fall. So if you're interested, check out slingshotracing.org. All the links are there. The link to our Discord, a link to sign up as well. And you can check it out on all of our socials as well. I want to give a shout out to Apex Energy for doing everything they've done this season for us and continue. They've been a title sponsor of ours since we started Slingshot, and all of our other partners, Team 53, Sim Racing Tech, Sim Racing Concepts, Evan Pienta Designs, Pierce Graphics, UD Awards, everybody that supports this. And I want to give a shout out to you guys as well. Y'all have done an awesome job this season in the booth. Thank y'all so much for all your hard work, and thank you to my league co-owner Ellis. Ellis pulled a lot of the weight this summer while I was dealing with some things, so I really appreciate that from him.
And the honor is ours. It's been tremendous. Tony and I have really enjoyed broadcasting for you guys, and we can't wait to do this again.
Well, we can't wait either. You guys are pros, and we really appreciate everything that you guys do.
Congrats,
Thank you so much.
congrats again on your third place tonight in the season, and go celebrate a nice relaxing end of season break here before we head on to the next one.
I definitely will. You guys have a good night. Thank you.
You too. That was your third place finisher tonight, Chris Smith. You're one of your league co-owners. We will get your second place finisher here in just a moment, James Suggs. James Suggs, second place finisher tonight. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, so tell us about your night. Like you definitely had a strong car all night. It seemed like you may have ran a little too hard on that first run and started falling back, but you learned from that, and you're here sitting second, which I believe is your best finish this season, isn't it?
Yeah, this is my first top three here in Slingshot. Yeah, that first stint, right on the start, I got stuck on the bottom trying to deal with people, trying to maybe pass when I shouldn't have, and just absolutely killed my tires in the first 5 laps, and then paid for it all the way until that first caution flew.
Was there anything else you had there at the end where you thought you could maybe have gotten the win, or was Braxton just too strong there at the end of the race?
Braxton was just too quick, too fast. I think he did a little bit better job than probably the top 5 of us managing his tires in that last run. I had dropped a lot of fuel, and it helped my car getting off, but I still think I maybe was entering just a little bit too hard and used up a little bit front tire, because my entry was what was starting to hurt me there at the end.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, ended up with a second place, which you can't really be mad about. Obviously, again, best finish of the season. Was this your first season with Slingshot? I don't remember.
Yes, this is the first season I've been with you guys. I ran the late model stocks and then the 87s, and then I've already signed up to run the Xfinity cars.
All right. Well, hope you enjoyed. Obviously, you enjoyed enough to come back for the Xfinity next season. We'll be looking to see you out there. Is there anyone you want to thank or shout out before you celebrate the end of the season and have a nice little break?
Well, I mean, just all of the guys that run Slingshot, Ellis, all of y'all guys have gave us a great league to participate in. It's handled very professionally, a lot of fun. Sam Oliver, Jeff Taylor, James Ledford, um, us guys always get in the same chat when we're in the race, and we're either picking on each other or just trying to help each other. But we're working on things the whole time we're in there. So all those three guys have been a big help.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the second place tonight. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Yep. All right. Before we bring your winner in tonight, we will show you the final points. Let's bring those up quick. Braxton DeWeese will win the points championship by 10 points over Johnny Rapp here tonight, as he takes the race win and the championship. All right, let's bring in your champion here. Braxton DeWeese, your race winner, your champion. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, champ? Congratulations. You pulled the trifecta, the sport's most popular driver, led the most laps, won the race and the championship. I guess that's four things. Kind of messed that up, but nonetheless, you are the champion. Congratulations, and you had a great run, obviously, all day long. And tell us how it feels to be the champion.
A lot of relief released, hitting that white flag and being that far out. I'm just really happy with how I ran. I'm really happy with the decision of putting 6 gallons in there at the end, putting, the least amount as possible in. I figured that would, tighten the car up a little bit so I could have the drive off that I was missing, in the earlier runs, just because I was just using up the right rear just a tad too much. Um, I felt like I saved the car. I was worried about wearing out the right front pretty much the whole race going into it. But the first run, my right rear was pretty hot, so um, I had to adjust to that. But I felt comfortable with what I had to do there, and I'm just glad it all worked out and we could come out with the win in the championship.
And so tell us, what's the next step for Braxton DeWeese's sim career? Are you going to run the Xfinity Series coming up? Is that confirmed?
It just depends on what my schedule looks like. I believe it runs on Tuesdays, if I'm mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I just joined the Open Late Model Stock League on Tuesdays, so they got a pretty long schedule. We'll see how that goes, and we'll see you know, what unfolds in the future. I really like being here in the Slingshot Racing League. This year was, very enjoyable. I was telling Ellis that before, y'all dragged me in here. It was very enjoyable. For the most part, everybody, well, for like 90% or even 100%, everybody was peachy, and that's pretty rare for an iRacing league on a computer. So, it's that, just having that's enjoyable. So, I'm glad that we could have some great racing. I wish I could have cleaned it up a little bit in previous races and potentially came out with a couple other wins. But you can't be upset with how you ran if you came out with the championship. You just got to be happy with what you got and go celebrate.
Well, you definitely have a reason to celebrate. And Tony, you have any questions for Braxton?
No, you pretty much hit them all. Just was gonna say, and anyone you want to shout out? Thanks for the championship and the win here tonight, and I'm sure you're excited for the season to be over and move on to the next thing.
Yeah, most definitely. I got to thank the sponsor on the car. They were on the car for the whole year. We had a partnership for the whole year, so I'm glad that we could have that. Bennett's Publical, they're a restaurant in the downtown Miamisburg. Miamisburg, they got quite a few restaurants downtown, and that's one of the top ones for sure. Probably if not the top one. Everybody goes there, and has a good time. I don't hear any complaints, so a big shout out to Bennett's Publical and all of them over there, as well as Jane's on Main. That's across the street, and actually they're married. So I'm glad that we could have both of them on board. We actually have Jane's on Main on the 27 Xfinity Ford Mustang for the Elite Grand National Series on Monday. So looking forward to Sonoma next week with that car. And I want to thank the rest of the people that I have on the car. Allen's Arts Images, Blaze Designs, Martin Sports, Scott Martin over at Jeff Schmidt Auto Group, Aiden's Race Days Replicas, Premier Group, EPI, Elite Performance Industries. I talked about running the Open Late Model Stock League on Tuesdays, and they're the ones that help provide setups, and the atmosphere over there is it's very enjoyable. I'm looking forward to hanging around the guys a little bit more, learn about them, and just learn about the open setups, and just trying to get better with that. So big shout out to them and everybody that tunes in and watches. There's always a select few that are always here every week, and I really do appreciate that. You're spending your time out of the night to come watch a kid race on a computer. So I know I kind of dumb it down. It's a little bit harder once you do it, but in reality, that's what it comes down to. But I really do appreciate that, and looking forward to the next league that we are going to run, and hopefully we can repeat what we did here.
And again, congratulations, Braxton, and it was great watching you, and we will see you soon.
I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
You too. Well, Tony, another season in the books. Braxton DeWeese is your champion. Johnny Rapp comes home a close second in the points battle after winning the Trucks title just a few months ago. What are your thoughts on the season as a whole?
It was just great racing all season. Everybody ran really hard. You could see guys who improved throughout the season, and especially the ones that had great runs tonight. James Suggs getting his best finish. Ledford was on his way to getting his first top 5, I believe. He did end up 6th. Jeff Taylor finished 8th. You can see a lot of people out there improving. These cars aren't the easiest to drive, and everyone who stuck it out all season did a great job. They put on a great show. I hope everybody who watched enjoyed it. Tonight especially was a hell of a race. Congrats again to Deweese on winning the race and the championship. He definitely had to earn it, and he proved that he deserved it. I want to thank everybody who watched, and I want to thank you for helping me up here in the booth this season, and Ellison and Chris for putting on a great league for us to broadcast and for everyone to watch and participate in.
Well, Tony, the honor is mine, and I feel like chemistry-wise, we continued to get better as a broadcasting duo, and it was certainly cool because it had been 5 years since I had been behind the mic, if anything, and it was one of the greatest decisions of my life because obviously I love racing, and racing was my first love, and here we are doing what we love to do. And again, to the fans, thank you so much for joining us. This summer Throwback series was amazing, and I'm Ryan O'Hara, and he's Tony Hilbrand. Braxton DeWeese is your champion. Have a great night.